Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
On Saturday, June 25, 2022, a Catholic missionary nun was killed in Haiti. She belonged to the Little Sisters of the Gospel of St. Charles de Foucauld. At his Angelus on June 26, Pope Francis said, "I would like to express my closeness to the relatives and fellow sisters of Sister Luisa Delorto, a Little Sister of the Gospel of St. Charles de Foucauld, who was killed yesterday in Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti. For 20 years, Sister Luisa lived there, dedicated above all to serving children on the streets. I entrust her soul to God, and I pray for the Haitian people, especially for the least, so they might have a more serene future, without misery and without violence." Sister Luisa made a gift of her life to others, even to martyrdom. The Archdiocese of Milan, upon the death of the nun, wrote, "The nun of the Little Sisters of the Gospel of Charles de Foucauld, originally from Lecco, was probably the victim of a robbery. On the island since 2002, she was considered the angel of street children." Luisa Delorto, a 65-year-old nun from Lecco, was killed in Haiti, probably for the purpose of robbery, in the capital Port-au-Prince where she worked. Sister Luisa had been on the island for 20 years. Sister Luisa dedicated her life and mission to baby slaves. Seriously injured, after the attack, she was rushed to the hospital, where she died shortly after, 2 days before becoming 65 years old. The news produced a tremendous impact in Port-au-Prince, where Sir Luisa, as they called her, was an institution. Sister Luisa was born in Lomagna, Lecco, Italy, on June 27, 1957. In 1984 she graduated in history and philosophy, and in the same year she entered the congregation of the Little Sisters of the Gospel of Lyon. Over 100,000 marched for life in Madrid, Spain, and found inspiration in the U.S. ProLife victory. More than 100,000 people marched through the streets of Madrid to protest against the laws that violate human life. 200 civil society organizations from all over Spain gathered in a massive march that has been widely followed via streaming. NEOS, the Assembly of Associations for Life, Liberty and Dignity, and the platform Every Life Matters, were conveners of the demonstration in defense of life and truth that marched on Sunday, June 26, 2022. Jaime Mayer Oreja gave his speech with a reference to the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court, which repealed the right to abortion in the U.S. as a constitutional right. This sentence shows that the debate on the culture of life is not closed, far from it, and that it will prevail over the culture of death, an expression of yesterday's slavery. Nancy Pelosi, the U.S. Speaker of the House of Representatives, received communion at a papal mass in St. Peter's Basilica, but not from Pope Francis, rather from a priest serving at the mass. There was some controversy over reports that Pelosi, who was seated in the diplomatic section, received communion with the others present. Rome reported that the priest distributing communion may not have known who she was, seeing as there were many priests of several nationalities serving at the mass. Nancy Pelosi has strongly supported abortion rights in the USA and was recently banned by her local archbishop from receiving Holy Communion. In San Francisco, her city of residence, Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone told the speaker that she was not permitted to receive Holy Communion due to her position on abortion. "You are not to be admitted to Holy Communion until such time as you publicly repudiate your advocacy for the legitimacy of abortion," the archbishop said in a public letter. She is now on a family vacation in Rome, and met with Pope Francis before attending papal mass for the feast of Saints Peter and Paul. Two Catholic priests were killed, in separate attacks within 24 hours, in Nigeria, Africa. Father Vitus and Father Christopher were both killed. Father Christopher Odia was killed by his abductors after being kidnapped the morning of the 26th of June 2022 in his rectory while coming out to go for Sunday Mass at St. Michael Catholic Church Ikabigbo, Uzurue, Edo State. Father Odia was also the administrator of St. Michael Catholic Church, Ikabigbo, and also the principal of St. Philip Catholic Secondary School Jutu. He was aged 41. Father Vitus Borigo was killed at Prison Farm, Kujama, after a raid on the farm by terrorists. Until his death, Father Vitus, aged 50, was the chaplain of the Catholic community of the Kaduna State Polytechnic, and the chairman of the Nigerian Catholic Diocesan Priests Association, Kaduna chapter. May their souls rest in peace. Over 700 Nigerian priests peacefully protested at the funeral of one of the priests killed in Kaduna. Some of the signs read, "We are priests, not terrorists." The government should protect Nigerians. Justice must be served. Do we still have a government? Fides reports that several of the hundred of priests, according to the local press more than 700, came from all over Nigeria to celebrate the funeral of Father Vitus Borigo, who was killed on June 25, in Kaduna Prison Farm, Nigeria. In his homily, the Archbishop of Kaduna, Matthew Manyason Degoso, cried as he buried the priest, due to the growing instability in the country. He stressed that Nigerians live in constant fear of being victims of violent acts, while the federal government seems to be unable to address the issue. The Archbishop of Kaduna expressed his pain at the fact that in a year his community has buried 3 priests who died in the hands of bandits, adding that the most painful one was the of the late Father Akate Bako, whose burial took place last 3 weeks without his corpse, which has not yet been found. Over my 60 years of age, we have not seen it this bad as it is now. Even during the Civil War, it was not bad as it is now. Something is wrong with leadership of this country, said Degoso. We no longer have tears in our eyes because the source of our tears have dried up because of constant crying. We have also lost our voices because when you talk, nobody listens. You cry, nobody hears your cry, but we will not lose hope. One day, God will wipe our tears. Archbishop Degoso appealed to the state police to guarantee the safety of citizens because those who have the obligation to protect people's lives and property have stopped doing so.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.